On the news this evening, FCT Minister Wike condemns disregard for court orders in Rivers political crisis. APC's Tony Okocha rejects apology demand from NBA in Rivers State. Rivers Police calls for official report on alleged brutality of Uniport student. On the foreign scene, U.S. Senator resigns after bribery convictions. We will go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, the news in detail. Welcome back. Now the news in detail. I am Kala Dakuru Batabo. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Former Governor of Rivers State and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has criticized the constitution of the Victor Oko-Jumbo-led House of Assembly. Mr. Wike, who spoke during the media chat marking his first anniversary as a minister in Abuja, expressed concern over the disregard for multiple court orders and judgment. He said the desire to control a political structure should not justify acts of impunity in the state.
You don't need to like Wike, but you sit in your house and say 3 people will constitute an assembly. Somebody said it's the speaker, then 2 people are members, and they go and buy lawyers, pay them money, go to Arise, chariots, and begin to do drama. People who you think are senior lawyers that should be able to really sit down in their conscience and ask questions. This thing I'm doing, am I really right? That you want to take control of a state. It's natural in politics. Is that why you should allow impunity? A court pronouncing that you did not bring budget. Whatever budget you said you have, it's not on the void.
The former state governor addressed the various court orders regarding the defection of 27 lawmakers from the PDP to the APC.
Could have been this judgment today. The State High Court has no jurisdiction to talk about defection or vacancy. That's the Federal High Court. Today, tomorrow morning, you go again to the State High Court, file a dispute using different people, and that one will grant expert order immediately. All kinds of things. And you say we should fold our arms and then watch. Nobody should say anything. Let court make a pronouncement that indeed you are defected. Defection is not by you.
Mr. Wike also criticized the Imo State federal lawmaker Ikenga Ugochiere for using different political parties to file lawsuits against the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), demanding that it conduct elections to fill vacant seats in the State House of Assembly.
Every day, you see on television, he said this is the House of Reps. He goes every day. He talks about law. I don't know the law he's talking about. I said nobody should answer him. I know him. I know his modus operandi. He clandestinely came to at Abuja using African Democratic Party to sue that INEC should conduct election. He thought we wouldn't know. Unknown to him, before you know where they go and tell, look, I will do this, I will do this. They collect money. They have filed over 33 suits.
In another development, APC's Tony Okocha says he is not apologizing to the Rivers State High Court judge, Justice S.H. Aprioku, insisting that the judge is allegedly biased. Mr. Okocha said this on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire today. He said the call for him to apologize by the Rivers branch of Nigeria Bar Association is inconsequential.
I've done nothing to warrant apologies to anybody, not even the NBA chairman. And I'm sure that organization is also not registered with CAC. I googled it, it's not registered with CAC. Let me inform them, I'm sure that they know that this judge, with all due respect, first, I wrote petition against 7 judges in Rivers State, and they are lying down there at the NJC as we speak. This particular one, I took him on. I wrote to the chief judge here and said, look, this man is biased, and there are the trappings of bias in him and sidedness.
On his part, the Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, who was also a guest on the Morning Crossfire, urged Mr. Okocha to obey the court judgment or appeal the judgment that nullifies his office's existence. He also said no NWC of any party has superior powers over the courts.
What makes a law is the court. So if a court says your existence is not known to law, I would expect that a gentleman, which I know he is, should be able to take a bow.
Exactly.
Or contest the matter at a higher level. Where he got that judgment is not just court of first instance.
Exactly.
He's at liberty to go on appeal or even go beyond the appeal to the Supreme Court. So to say that or to cherry pick which one or his party told him NWC of either or any of the parties cannot be superior to a judgment of a court, he knows.
In the meantime, some political stakeholders have weighed in on the recent visit by members of the PDP Board of Trustees to Governor Siminalayi Fubara, aimed at addressing the ongoing crisis within the party and the state. A political scientist at the University of Port Harcourt, Obinna Nwodim, in an interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari, advised that mediators of the political crisis should demonstrate a level of neutrality in their efforts to reconcile the warring factions.
Even though they had allowed this crisis to fester to the level at which it has gone to. The crisis has gone so deep within the state. What I think should happen in this case is that there must be sincerity of purpose between the gladiators. Even the mediators should also be neutral. Problem or the challenge, there will also be some sacrifices that should be made between the warring parties. And if they have come to do that, they should be open-minded in order to actually take it the way it is.
Mr. Nwodim also said that genuine political solutions and settlements may not be achievable until both factions are willing to engage in the reconciliation process.
The president did was to just treat without looking at the center, without going to the roots of the matter. Both parties know what the problems are. If you want to solve a problem, you must make sure that both parties' willingness to come to the table and resolve the crisis. If one party wants to do that and the other party does not want, you still may not get the result to a halt in the state. You will see that genuineness in them, and there won't be any hide and seek game.
Similarly, a former federal lawmaker and PDP member from Eche, Ogbonna Nwoke, says the visit of the party's BOT members to the governor, Siminalayi Fubara, is a sign that they know the consequences of losing Rivers State to another party in the 2027 general elections.
The understanding of the important place of Rivers State in the PDP. You also will recall that the party had withdrawn the case on its own in court, saying that it never enabled any solicitor to represent it in a given matter. Now, on the part of Governor Siminalayi Fubara, it is victory for patience, victory for his commitment to the party, and victory for his love for peace. And I'm glad that at this time, PDP is putting itself together and realizing that we cannot afford as a party to lose Rivers.
Mr. Nwoke urged the other factions involved in the crisis to embrace the peace initiative.
The Rivers people are giving a mandate to a governor, and I want to quote his predecessor, who said that when he finishes his assignment as governor, he will not interfere in state matters. I think that all those who prior to this time have disagreed, for reasons best known to them, with governor whose mandate is to govern River State. It's time for them to think again and embrace peace. No, we are talking about here is not the naked use of power. What we are talking about here is what power can be used to do for Rivers people.
Moving on, the Ijaw Youth Council IYC is urging President Bola Tinubu to reshuffle his cabinet and appoint someone with deep expertise in the oil sector as the Minister of Petroleum Resources. The group, in a statement signed by its Secretary General Mwabuye Nangi Obu, National Women Leader Miracle Iyaye, National Legal Advisor Tamino Tonye David, and National Deputy Director of Mobilization Abiye Bob Manuel, said the call was necessitated by a recent announcement by Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited that the Port Harcourt refinery will resume production in September 2024. The IYC also blamed the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Oil, Ainikin Lokpobiri, for the current crisis affecting the oil industry. They also highlighted the sharp rise in fuel prices, with petrol now costing over 2,000 naira per litre in some communities in the region. They said Nigeria's economy heavily relies on a stable and efficient oil sector, and argued that more competent individuals from the Niger Delta, particularly Bayelsa, could have done a better job in the ministry to ensure the availability and affordability of petroleum products. Still to come, Rivers Police calls for official report on alleged brutality of Uniport student. Do stay tuned as we go for another commercial break.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria in
Welcome back. Now, the rest of the newscast. The spokesperson of the Rivers State Police Command, Grace Iringekoko, says the alleged brutality of a student of the University of Port Harcourt by the police has not been reported to the command. SP Iringekoko, in an interview with correspondent Emeka Otuka, urged the family of the 400-level student of Linguistics and Communication Studies, Uniport, Bright Ifeemi Erefa, to report to the division police officer of the command where the incident happened. Recall that the 27-year-old student is now seeking justice. The incident happened last Thursday around his home in Rumodumaya after some policemen raided his house. Away from that, an educationist, Ayodele Momodu, is calling for a deliberate government effort towards agriculture. Professor Momodu, a lecturer at the Department of Economics, River State University, said governments at all levels have failed to address the challenge facing farmers, especially in the area of insecurity and availability of land. He said believes that farmers in Nigeria are capable of producing crops to ensure food sufficiency.
Improvement that we can make is mechanized. Make land available for large farming. We can produce. We can feed ourselves. All we need to do is first and foremost make the land available. Because as at now, even if farmers don't have access to land, they don't have land. Land is in the hand of government, state governors and local governments. How many people really have land to farm? Those who want to farm. Deliberate attempt to make sure that those lands that can be used for farming are protected, and we don't use them for all kinds of things. If we want to produce food for this country, it has to be a deliberate step, deliberate action from government. Because we can. The land is there. Nigerian land is federal.
Professor Momodu also expressed concern about the role of what he called middlemen in the food supply chain. He accused them of hoarding available food supplies.
Middlemen syndrome must be eliminated, which means government must build maybe silos and warehouses and other things and be able to stock food and release to the market. There are a lot of things contributing to these high prices of food. I don't want to believe that there is unavailability. I don't want to believe that food is available. People cannot afford it.
In other news, President Bola Tinubu has condoled with the government and the people of Jigawa over the floods that ravaged the state. The floods, which claimed lives and displaced numerous residents, have left a trail of destruction across 14 local government areas. In a statement today by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, President Tinubu expressed deep sorrow over the loss of lives and the suffering endured by the affected communities. Once again, another commercial break. When we come back, we will take a look at the international scene. To stay tuned.
world.
Looking at the international scene, a U.S. Senator Bob Menendez has resigned after he was convicted on bribery charges in July. The New Jersey Democrat was found guilty on 16 counts tied to a scheme where he accepted bribes including gold bars and a Mercedes-Benz to aid the Qatari and Egyptian governments. He will face a potentially lengthy prison term at his sentencing in October. The 70-year-old has maintained his innocence and said he plans to appeal. Let's take a look at a recap. On the news this evening, you heard the FCT Minister Wike has condemned the disregard for court orders and ongoing Rivers political crisis. APC's Tony Kota has rejected the apology demand from the NBA in Rivers State. Rivers Police calls for the official report on the alleged brutality of a Uniport student on foreign scene. U.S. Senator has resigned after he was convicted on bribery charges. The news was detailed by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Kala Dakarubatabo. Good evening and thank you for listening.